He walked out of the courtroom without a word. No cameras, no press release, just a silent nod to his lawyer and then vanished into a black vehicle waiting by the curb. No one knew at the time, but that single moment marked the largest and most secretive divorce settlement in human history. $120 billion. Gone in the stroke of a pen. But the money wasn't the most terrifying part. What followed was, because this wasn't just a divorce, it was a silent war between two of the most powerful people on earth. A war with spies, secret accounts, blackmail files and a dangerous truth that almost exposed who really runs the world. His name was never supposed to be public. His fortune tied to phantom companies, offshore banks, and government contracts that don't officially exist. But in 2019, a private court hearing in Luxembourg listed an anonymous individual known only as Client K. His net worth was assessed at over $270 billion. Assets spread across 41 countries, and a sealed file marked strategic risk. The court was dealing with one thing. His wife wanted out. She'd remained invisible for decades, always 3 steps behind the photos, never tagged, never quoted. Some called her the most powerful woman in Europe, not because of her wealth, but because of what she knew. She'd kept the books, the secrets, the contingency plans. And now, after 27 years of marriage, she wanted it all divided. But you don't walk away from a man like Client K, you escape him. What triggered the split? That's the mystery that sparked whispers across global intelligence agencies. Some say she discovered something ledger, perhaps a death, a private island no one was supposed to know about. Others say it was fear, that she overheard a call, a deal being made, a name spoken once and then never again. Whatever it was, by early 2020, she had fled to a diplomatic estate in Iceland under protection of an unnamed Nordic government. 3 weeks later, a court order was filed demanding complete silence. No media, no digital files, no trace. But traces always surface. A leaked document from a Swiss legal firm showed an asset transfer of $120 billion in one lump sum. No staggered payments, no lawyers, just a transaction so massive it shifted the bond market for 48 hours without explanation. Buried within the documents, a clause marked in red. Clause 17. Immediate silence. Violation will trigger Protocol Echo. No one knows exactly what Protocol Echo is, but according to a declassified NATO memo, it's a term used for reputation erasure, the kind governments use to make someone disappear without killing them. 2 weeks after the payment, she was gone. No photos, no sightings. Even her birth records were quietly pulled from the Estonian registry. And Client K, he didn't flinch, didn't speak, didn't respond. Instead, he vanished. A jet bearing his shell company's ID landed in an unregistered airstrip in Patagonia. Security footage shows the hatch open, and then static. The next day, the airstrip was paved over. A solar farm appeared. No one could prove the flight ever happened. Why would a man with so much power go through all this trouble? Because this wasn't about love, it was about leverage. Sources inside Interpol later leaked that the wife had possession of something terrifying. A black box, not the flight kind. This one was digital, encrypted, loaded with 4 terabytes of files from private intelligence firms. Included were photos of warlords shaking hands with diplomats, video of executives discussing pandemic strategies 2 years before COVID, and most chilling, a full list of politicians flagged as controllable, each with a rating, each with a price. One folder was labeled, "If I die, they burn." The theory: she didn't want the money, she wanted freedom, and the $120 billion wasn't a settlement. It was hush money, a one-time payment for silence. But here's where it gets darker. 6 months after the settlement, 5 billionaires across different continents all liquidated shares at the same time. Stock markets wobbled, but no one questioned why. Behind the scenes, insiders say those 5 were named in the files, and they'd received a copy. It was insurance, a network of secrets so valuable, no one could afford to let her go public. So they paid her, and helped her vanish. Rumors say she lives now under a different name, in a compound surrounded by special forces operatives. That her home is lead-lined devices banned. Every visitor pre-cleared by 6 layers of security. And she never speaks about her past, ever. Meanwhile, Client K continues to operate in the shadows. He's rumored to own 5 AI research labs, a private militia, a weather manipulation firm, and something called Orpheus, a data mining network so invasive it can predict a person's breakdown within 3 hours of digital silence. You probably haven't heard his name, but you've used his systems, logged into his networks, agreed to his terms, without even knowing, and every time someone gets too close to the truth, something strange happens. Emails vanish, footage gets corrupted, people change their minds suddenly, unwilling to speak. Because the secret isn't that two people divorced, it's that their breakup nearly destabilized the global elite. Some say the files are still out there, buried on a dead man's server, waiting for the moment one of them slips. And when that day comes, it won't just be a scandal, it will be a reckoning. A reminder that the true cost of silence isn't counted in dollars, but in what we'll never know. So the next time a billionaire vanishes from the public eye, ask yourself, is it for love or for leverage? Because someone once paid $120 billion to keep the truth buried forever.